my world. And that's one of the things that William will cover one of the days, is what to do with all these skills now as you get a really handle on them over the days. How will I apply that? So just to know that you will get the time for that. There'll also be loads of time as you will get to know each other to ask questions, to give some learnings. God, this is what struck me today. This is what was really useful for me. But I really learned more about that today. I didn't realize that that was something that was so valuable. Now I've seen it in practice. And you will find every time in the evaluation, they say, we ask, what was the most valuable part of the training? Every time they say, it was the practice sessions, Luke. It was the practice sessions. So that's why we will be getting into that later on today and every other day, so that you get more competent and confident in using the mediation approach, in using the mediation framework. So you're really going to get all of that over the days. Myself and William have been mediating for a long time. I've been mediating for about 20 years in all sorts of different workplace contexts, in education contexts hugely, and in lots of workplaces in different. So hopefully we'll be able to use our experiences and share some of the stories, some of the war stories, some of the stories where they went well, and some of the stories where mediation just wasn't right, because mediation is not the solution to every problem, but it's a really good approach for many issues. And I'd say my quick summary of mediation is mediation saves time, it saves money, and it can save relationships. And that ain't bad if it can do those three things with all of the other processes. So we're going to just give you that time to get that competence in a framework. We're going to give you a 6-stage process that you're going to know and love at the end of this course, so that you really know where you are in the mediation process and conversation. You really know where you need to go next, and that the participants, and we tend to call people in a mediation participants rather than parties. And that's one of the things to say about mediation. It is different to the legal process. It sits alongside sometimes, but it has its own vocabulary, has its own language. Because if we call people parties, for example, that gives it a legal piece, whereas we want to say this is a different type of conversation. You know, I was working with a group of 8 teachers the other day, and it was a group mediation. So we're going to be focusing on you mediating between 2 people, but you can transfer the skills. And it was really important that they said they were very nervous coming into the conversation. I said, it's a chance for all of you to be heard. It's a chance for all of you to get your issues out on the table safely. And it's a chance for all of you to figure out your way forward yourselves. I'm not going to give you the answers. I'm not going to fix your problems. And that's a really great realization for me as the mediator or facilitator to use. I don't have to solve it. They solve it. That's the great thing about mediation. They resolve it over time. And we'll talk about how do you do that, and what are the type of questions you might use, and what are the type of tone of voice even that you might use. And you'll get a chance to see how you can evolve your own range, because we all have a range, and you'll get a chance to work through all of that and see that, how does that work for you? Okay, so just be conscious of this is different. It sits alongside, but it is different in the language, in how we do it, so that you're going to add it to your other things that you do, rather than try to replace. We're adding something else. So that's really important, a different type of conversation. Anyway, we're going to do some sort of exploratory stuff